Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Adam here with Retro Repairs, and today I've got another mail day video. So I went and picked up this package, which was sent to me by another fantastic viewer named Frank, and he's got a couple Nintendo things that he was able to donate to me and see if I could fix up or use for parts or whatever. So let's dive in and see what we've got. So first things first, let's crack open the package. I note that the package is a little mashed up, so I'm thinking maybe USPS may have dropped it, or maybe the box was already kind of mushed. I don't know, but let's see what we got. Okay, so first thing is this kind of cool little item here. Yeah, so this is kind of crunched on the same side, so I think in shipping it clearly got dropped. So this is a Yobo FC16 Go, so it's supposed to be a handheld Super Nintendo console. So let's take a look at that. Interestingly enough, for being handheld, it also comes with some really thick Super Nintendo-like controllers, so I don't know, interesting. It's got some weird design. So it has a little clasp that you can open for the battery, but there's still a screw there, so I don't know. Seems unnecessary to me, but hey, I'm not a game engineer, so what do I know, right? And then this is the FC16 Go. So that's a beast of a machine, but I guess it has to be reasonably big to fit a cartridge in there, so let's open it up. Oh, kind of cool looking thing. Looks to be in physically good condition. So Frank had told me that there's an issue with the screen where it was only displaying black and white, but it will also output video through the AV out here. That output was in color, so either something wrong with the screen or the circuitry going into the screen. So we can take a look at that later, I think. But I was also was not expecting it to come in a box like this, so that's also pretty cool. I never really looked into this particular item, so I got no idea what they cost new, where they come from, anything like that, how good or not good it is, but definitely something cool to check out. ASCII pad. So he told me, I think he said the left button was not working. So this is a turbo pad for the Super Nintendo. Pretty cool little device here. You might remember I did an ASCIIware ASCII pad arcade style pad repair, and this is the same company, has all the same switches, it's just in the compact design like this. So you've got off, turbo, and auto, and speed selector, so that you can have turbo on all these buttons. I also like the Super Famicom color design there, so that's a nice touch as well. And a Super Nintendo. So he tells me that it turns on, but the graphics are a little bit garbled up, so another Super Nintendo look at. Bottom of the case is good. The top's kind of yellowed, which is pretty typical for a Super Nintendo. Looks clean on the inside though, so either someone had to go with this and cleaned it, or less likely is someone actually took care of their stuff, which it amazes me how few people actually take care of their things, but hey, I wouldn't be doing this if people regularly took care of all their stuff. And then some bubble wrap and paper, but all right, cool. So let's, I want to check out that handheld, so I'm going to grab a couple games and let's see what we got. Okay, so this is the Yobo FC16 Go. FC16 Go, so not really a lot on here. There's a power plug, there's an AV out, there is a screen, your standard Super Nintendo controller layout, select, reset, and start. and then left and right bumper pads, cartridge slot on the back, and a battery door. So let's open up that battery door, see what kind of commitment this thing has to running. So I need a fine Phillips. Oh, that's a slotted screw. Who uses slotted screws? Those might be the worst ever screw invented. I really hate whoever invented the slotted screwdriver, or the slotted screw specifically. You wouldn't need the driver if the screws didn't exist. All right. Cool, so it has its own lithium ion, I'm assuming. Yep. Own lithium ion charging, or lithium ion battery, rechargeable, 3.7 volt, 1300 milliamp hours. So pretty standard battery, very similar to what you'd use in a cell phone. So I was expecting something like AA's, but that can be good or bad. Good in that it's rechargeable and it's there. Bad in that when it fails, and it inevitably will fail, it's probably going to be hard to replace. Now, if I were a power button, I don't know where I'd be. All right. So interestingly, let's see, can we see what this says here? I'm going to try to adjust this light a bit. That's a lot of a shadow. So we got the power, and it says LCD/TV. So I figured this was a switch. It's a three-way switch. So now the LCD would turn on, or the TV would turn on. And we got flashing down here, which tells me that it's on or thinking or doing something. So let's get a game in there. Let's see what works. I'm going to start out with Super Mario World. I know this game works fine, and it's always a classic. Now, do you figure we go in that way? It would appear so. Normally, your handhelds have you go in backwards like that, but does not fit that way. So I get to look at the label, I guess, even though I don't. So let's turn that on. Ooh, let's get some volume. Well, I got color. What do you know? It's got some decent volume to it. Let's see how it works. Yeah. I must say it's a little difficult playing on such a small screen, but I guess that's why this lets me hook up to a TV as well. But appears to be working. All the buttons seem to be working just fine. Spin jump, yeah. I wonder if reset will reset the whole game. So it will. So kind of an odd thing to put there, having a reset button, because if I go to start it and accidentally reset in the middle of my game, I'm going to be upset. But whatever. Let's turn that off. Just for curiosity, I want to see what happens when I run my burn-in test. So what this normally does is it runs a test on all the hardware present on the Super Nintendo, tells you what's failing, what's working, and so on and so forth. A lot of things probably won't exist here that it's going to be looking for, so I'm really curious to see how this goes. So I was busy grabbing one of these controllers just to see how they work, that I forgot to see what the tests results said. So these take AAAs, so I unfortunately can't even test that right now as I'm out of AAAs. Let's reset this and see if anything fails. I'm going to pay attention this time so we don't have to do it a third time. All a pass, which is interesting, as I'm doubtful that all that hardware actually exists in this thing, but my guess was that it's just an emulation machine, emulating the Super Nintendo hardware. I think I'm going to open this up and actually confirm that for myself. Yeah, let's do that. Because it'd be a pretty crappy repair video if I didn't do that. So, first things first, let's take the battery out. And then, looks like we're using Phillips screws to open up the rest of this. Alright, so with that out, I'm assuming this back probably lifts off. There's clearly some sort of clip holding everything together, so I really don't want to break all this. Ah, I missed one right in the front here. The elusive fifth screw. Now let's see. There we go, it's separating a lot nicer. Feels like there's a clip right there. So let's grab that slotted screw bit. Pretty much the only thing that slotted screwdrivers should be good for is prying things apart. So in the back, we've got really nothing. There's just a shell, and yeah, there's your cartridge slot, a little bit of dust, not much, but these are the guts. So I must say there's more to this than I thought there would be. A lot of this is going to be the LCD driver, I think, but let's continue taking this apart and see what else is here for us. So there's a couple cables holding this together. So we'll extend it a little bit and then they should just let go. And this is the main board. So this is a I guess a condensed, cloned version of the Super Nintendo in a handheld form. So we've got nothing really labeled, but if I were a betting man, I'd say these are, one of these is a CPU, one of these is a PPU, probably some video RAM, and some other chips, work RAM maybe. I don't know. I don't know my, not an electronic engineer, so I don't know the layout of boards as well as I'd like to. Got a couple crystals. Yeah, interesting little thing. On the back here, your connector for the battery. And then let's see what's going on here. So this is a board for something. Might be what drives the LCD display. I don't really like having to push down on that so much though. Oh, you know what? This is going to be mostly the controller, I think, on the other side. And then maybe some sort of chips as well. There we go. That one was kind of stubborn, but we got it. Now carefully lift that out. There's probably a ribbon connector going to the LCD here. Oh, not a ribbon connector, it's this cable right here. So, interesting choice, but this is the other side. So, what we've got here is your D-pad, your A, B, Y, Z, your shoulder buttons, so the left and the right, a couple LEDs on the bottom, an LED up top, start, select, and reset, and some speakers. And this is just your circuitry to go along with it. So, interesting board layout. You see they've got these little subboards mounted on here. It looks like when they originally designed this, they designed it for a certain size chip of some sort, and then they got a smaller one encapsulated in this blob of epoxy on a board and then just soldered the board on. Same with here, this board is just soldered to the main board. And you have a resistor going to ground, so I don't know, interesting design. It almost looks like this may have gotten a little bit wet down here. Let's see if we can zoom in and show you what I'm seeing. So right around here, you can see inside along these points here, there's a little bit of just stuff. And that may be the start of some corrosion. I wonder if I can check out, I want to check out that. Yeah, it kind of looks that way. See if you can see this at all. You really can't. Well, yeah, this doesn't work for you, but works for me. So I'm gonna try and clean that up a little bit, just with some isopropyl alcohol and a toothbrush. Just hopefully it doesn't get any worse. So So I'm going to do a quick inspection with my little glass just to see if any of these are really bad, and if so, we can reflow them. Alright, so I've given it a bit of a clean. Looks to be okay. So let's put this back together, and I want to try hook this up to a TV and see what happens there. It's a cool concept, really, that this also kind of doubles as almost a Super Nintendo replacement. The controllers are wireless, and you can select whether you want them to be one player or two, so you can really do quite a bit with them. So I'm curious to try that. I need to hunt down a couple AAAs though, because I know I don't have any new ones. I might have a TV remote or something that has those. So I'm going to screw this back together, and let's hook it up to a TV. Alright, so I got it back together. Let's do one more test just to make sure that it works. Oops, there. Seems to be good. I'm just curious if... bending it doesn't seem to affect the screen. And that was just the TV switch that I hit, so... I don't know, seems to be fine as far as color goes. So, let's get her hooked up to the TV and see what we got. Okay, so I recently picked up this little TV. Let's move that light. I recently picked up this little TV for pretty cheap, about 20 bucks the other day, just for this purpose, testing stuff, and came with a remote. And lucky for me, guess what kind of batteries this remote takes? AAAs. So let's open this up and get this remote control fired up, or this controller. I personally hate it when people call game controllers remote controls or pads or something like that. It just bothers me a little. Don't know why. Anyways, batteries are in. Got a flashing light there. I bet you we have to pair this. There's a 1-player or 2-player mode, so we're going to put it in 1-player. And let's hook this up to the DC. No, sorry, not DC. AV. And power it on. So far nothing. Let's check out the inputs. Oh, there we go. I didn't have it plugged in all the way, so let's see if this works. Well, as soon as I push start, you see this became solid, and this one keeps blinking, so it looks like it works. This is pretty cool. I'm gonna get this mounted. I'm gonna test about a minute of trying to play this. Alright, so we got her set up here, using the remote here, and as you can see, remote seems to be good. Let's go into a level and see that it works. I think there's a little bit of a delay though, so let's see if you can even capture this. Yeah. I don't know how well this is coming across on camera, but there is a notable delay when I'm playing it. Honestly, don't recall if I noticed that. But, yeah, I'm going to try this without, and try it just on the unit down here, and let's see if that same delay exists. That feels a lot more, oops, not really paying attention, but this feels a lot more on point. Seems to be working fine. So I'm wondering if it's the TV that I'm using. I'm gonna try playing the settings a little bit and yeah, I'm gonna try playing the TV settings, see if I can change anything there. So I changed a couple of the video settings, but I don't really think it made much of a difference, so. Maybe a little bit better, but I still think there's a bit of a lag. And I suspect it's either the video cable or maybe going from this wireless controller to here and trying to get it back out to the video. But either way, I mean, you don't buy one of these to be your Super Nintendo replacement. It's just a neat little handheld. So overall, I would say pretty cool little item, and unfortunately there wasn't a whole lot really to fix here, but more or less just an unboxing and look at the, what was this? The Yobo FC16 Go. So that's going to be it for this video. I think next video I make, I'm going to take a look at that Super Nintendo and see what the problem there might be. But that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Hope you have yourselves a nice evening. Be sure to leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Have you ever seen one of these before or had something similar? Let me know how you think they compare. Like the video and stay tuned for my next one. We'll see you later, guys.